Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. But before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to let you guys know and make you guys aware that DCENT Wallet right now is giving away 200 Algorand with every single purchase of a DCENT cold storage wallet. For a limited time only, you could go and get this deal right now. And of course, with the market waking up right now, I think that it is in everyone's best interest to make sure that their crypto is secure in a cold storage wallet. And like I said, you can't beat this deal because 200 Algorand at its all-time high would be worth over $400 plus. So this is essentially a free cold storage wallet. Of course, if Algorand does get back to those levels, like I said, you can't beat this deal. This is a huge one, and I have to give a shout out to DCENT Wallet for this because, you know, listen, they already give me a discount code for all of you guys to use, but this is just next level. So if you guys do want to go get your DCENT Wallet, make sure that you are prepared for the next major run up and making sure that your crypto is extremely secure. You guys are more than welcome to down in the description below as well as in the comments below. Go and check this out if you guys are interested in it. Of course, with that being said, let's dive on in and let's start off with a few things with Hedera. So we do see the Hedera network is currently processing thousands of real transactions per second using the power of Hashgraph. Check out how our network volume compares to those of other blockchains and layer ones using ChainSpect app's analytics dashboard. So yeah, I mean, listen, as we really kind of look at this is pretty crazy. This is updated 1 minute ago. And well, guess what? Hedera is doing well over 2,700 plus TPS, max TPS right now, 3,000. No other major layer one even compares, or any network for that instance. And it's pretty crazy to think about, you know, where Hedera was going back like 2 years ago. And I know that I kind of sound like a broken record when I do say that, but, you know, when we really kind of go back 2 years ago and compare it to where we are at today, a lot has changed. One of the biggest things that everyone is probably going to mention in the comments and kind of make a joke of is, of course, the supply change. But to me personally, I think that the supply is not too big of a concern. Honestly, I would love to have all of the supply just released fully. That way we don't even have to worry about it anymore. And again, like 50 billion max supply is to a lot of people a lot, but to me personally, it's really not, especially as we do see how much adoption there already is for Hedera right now and how this is going to grow astronomically over the course of the next couple of years. But beyond that, right, like, you know, Hedera, there's nothing that really kind of compares to what Hedera is doing right now in terms of actual value and actual usage. There was also another great quote by the Hbar Foundation saying real world use cases solving real world problems to drive real world value. Welcome to Hedera. And, you know, this really is the case. Like, as we look at, you know, utility on a lot of these networks, there really isn't anything like Hedera at this current moment in time, because scale for the first time in history in the space has finally been tested. And what have we learned? Well, shout out to Zepsi. Hedera is the only Web3 network proven at scale. Hedera is currently driving more real-world TPS, 2,500 plus average, than the next 16 networks combined. Every transaction is real and also paid for. This is driven by real-world applications solving real-world problems to drive real-world value. Examples include, of course, Atma.io from Avery Dennison, tracking the carbon emissions of billions of unique items in their supply chain. And this is just really scratching the surface of the Hedera Guardian, the largest open source repository for environmental methodologies. This engine is driving the Hedera sustainability ecosystem through the creation of on-chain carbon credits, RECs, and other energy credits. Most recently, Alcott began onboarding 500 million metric tons of carbon credits, its entire portfolio, to Hedera as real-world assets. And remember, right, like, as we really kind of look at this, one thing to really kind of note is the fact that, like, tokenization is heating up right now. Right? And Hedera has already proven itself in the tokenization space as an absolute giant for efficient tokenization services. And as we look at what's going on, I do believe that Hedera is going to see a significant piece of the tokenization pie that is coming. And listen, that is a massive market. We've talked about it. A lot of people project it to be worth 16 trillion. It could be worth upwards of 20 plus trillion dollars by 2030. And if we actually look at scale, how big that market's going to be, it's unquestionable, right? Because Listen, we'll start slow, but it is going to be streamlined, especially once adoption really kind of heats up. It is going to become a big trend, and it's only going to accelerate from there on out. But beyond that, we do see by digitizing the traditional methods of measuring, reporting, and verification, DMRV, and following the GBB Council Interwork Alliance DMRV framework, the Guardian enables completely transparent, auditable, and fully discoverable information surrounding these all carbon credits. The Hedera Guardian is the best tech for modernizing traditional measurement reporting verification MRV to digital measurement reporting verification DMRV. As a result, Hedera is the network for bringing trust and transparency to the climate markets. In order for companies like Microsoft to begin offsetting their carbon, this trust is essential. In fact, Microsoft is a founding member of the Interwork Alliance alongside Hedera. It is these collectively agreed upon standards that Hedera uses. And remember, right, like one of the biggest speculative things around this market, including, of course, Hedera, has always been, when is Microsoft going to become GC council member? Well, that's what we're waiting for. But again, that's speculation. We haven't seen anything confirmed just yet, but I wouldn't write anything off with Hedera because, again, they've already been working with some of the biggest players out there. But what's better? Every single Hedera governing council members needs to offset their carbon and has aggressive climate goals. Hello, Hedera Guardian. The importance of this transition is, of course, understood by leading carbon registries like Verra and Gold Standard, who have a close working relationship with the HBAR Foundation Sustainable Impact Fund. You could read a recent paper here. You could read more about the SIF's investment thesis and some of the Hedera refi ecosystem here as well. But all of this is just scratching the surface of one vertical that Hedera is targeting. The world's leading financial institutions are bringing real-world assets on-chain with Hedera. This includes Aberdeen, the UK's largest active wealth fund, Standard Bank, the largest bank in Africa, Shinhan Bank, Cathay Bank, FIS Global, and more. More Fortune 500s like Hyundai and Kia are leveraging Hedera for supply chain carbon emissions tracking as well. The Flutterwave, the highest valued African fintech, is integrating Hedera USDC. Also, the Bank of Ghana, current CBDC hackathon is on Hedera via MTech as well. ServiceNow, who services 80% of the Fortune 500, has integrated Hedera for refi as well. MasterCard is now integrated via Fresh Supply Co., with the biggest users of the now private MasterCard Provenance private blockchain in the Hedera-based sandbox. Micropayment solution DropCC was featured by FedNow. This is all just scratching the surface of what is public. In short, the institutional grade adoption of Web3 is happening on Hedera right now. Hedera is the home of utility. And listen, I know that it sounds too good to be true. I know that it sounds crazy to think about it like this when, HBAR, for an example, is trading under 6 cents. But at the end of the day, you have to look at that as an opportunity instead of a negative, viewpoint of Hedera. To me personally, with all of this substance, with HBAR being, worth around like roughly 5.5 cents or so, I look at the future around HBAR and I'm like, I know for a fact that this thing is going to be worth, 50 to 100% more than what it is worth today. And on the long-term side of things, who knows? It could be a 10x, a 20x, a 30x, a 50x, or even a 100x plus gem. And we've talked about it, right? $3 to $6, for an example, was the original price prediction back in 2021. That has not changed in my perspective because I still believe that Hedera is a dark horse in the space, an asset and a network that is extremely overlooked and also extremely undervalued. I don't think people yet realize how big some of these giants will be when utility really means a lot to the space because, again, we're still in a speculative market where utility really just is not valued. But when we start to see utility really valued, that's when Hedera's overall image in this entire space changes. Also, in terms of the transactional growth, I had to include this one as well. This is from the House of Chimera. Unprecedented growth. Hedera's monthly transactions reach new peaks. The Hedera ecosystem has witnessed significant growth from the beginning of the year. Overall, close to 4.24 billion transactions, all-time high, were recorded, marking its busiest month in network activity. Again, like as we look at Hedera, the utility is heating up. We're just waiting for utility to be taken seriously in the space. And that's where I do think that the true value of HBAR will be realized in. But also outside of this, we already know that there's incredible use cases building out on Hedera. And some of these are gateways to mass adoption. For an example, Galaxy app is a perfect example of this. Chad Weston, who is the chief design officer at Galaxy, which by the way, Chad has done incredible work on Galaxy. I personally think that it is incredible in terms of the UI, and it is perfect for what we are trying to target, which is mass adoption of crypto-based technology. For many Galaxy app creators, the first exposure to USDC will be during shop setup, setting prices for various products. Tapping the info icon beside your payout contextualizes USDC as the de facto earning method that can stay as USDC and be transferred to your wallet or off-ramp to fiat. I'm a huge believer in drip educating people at their point of interest. All across the Galaxy app experience, these info icons slowly nudge users along the crypto learning curve, hopefully almost without noticing a maturing understanding of Web3. And again, right, like this is what we want to see. We want to see payouts in crypto. We want to see users utilizing crypto. And listen, this is users utilizing crypto by also knowing it. But also, Galaxy has a very incredible viewpoint of individuals utilizing a social media platform that is essentially based all around Web3. I mean, this truly is a gateway to mass adoption. And I do think that, listen, the future could be individuals utilizing crypto and knowing that they're utilizing crypto, or possibly even utilizing crypto without knowing that they're utilizing crypto. Either one is a great way to achieve that next step in terms of adoption, which is the first billion users into crypto. And outside of this, right, one of the other great areas of interest is NFTs with LG. Right? Hedera has partnered with LG, and they have been partnered with LG for a while, and they're trying to bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 and bringing the world of NFTs to millions of households around the globe. Now, a lot of people think that, oh, this is like whatever, this isn't anything special, like nobody's actually going to be utilizing NFTs on their TV. But listen, think again. There was just recently an episode of The Simpsons, which is one of the most popular cartoon shows out there, and the entire episode was based around an NFT. So if we look at this NFT episode, and when we look at what's happening around NFTs, I do believe that retail will come back to the NFT space. I also don't think that NFTs are a fad like everyone thinks that they are. I actually think that NFTs are going to be much larger than what anyone can anticipate. And beyond that, imagine now being able to have NFTs on your TV and accessing them through your TV. I mean, to me personally, I think that LG is doing incredible work here. And again, this could very well be the bridge between traditional worlds with the digital worlds, because this is tapping into millions of households around the world through NFTs with, of course, Hedera. This is game changing. It really is. And I know that some people are going to say, well, this is, useless. It's not going to do anything, blah, blah, blah. But they said that about many things around crypto. And guess what? Today, we know that they are very big deals. But beyond this, right? As we look at everything happening, another great avenue is the ecosystem. Hedera's ecosystem has expanded rapidly, and there's so many other great projects. But beyond this, we all also know that development activity on Hedera has been heating up. So we're only going to see a lot more projects building out and launching on the ecosystem. I look forward to the future for Hedera. Listen, Hbar, I know that it has been underwhelming for most people, but for me personally, I take that as a massive opportunity. I truly think that Hedera is becoming a dominant force in the space. I also think that they will be targeting the top 10 in the next run up. And I also think that Hbar could very well surprise a lot of people in terms of what it could do in the next run. Could it be $3 to $6? Yeah, it could be. But again, we don't know where Hbar is going to go. But for one thing that I know, it's the fact that Hedera has shown that it is a dominant force to be reckoned with in this space, and the ecosystem has been thriving. The network has been thriving. Activity is spiking to new all-time highs. I'm very excited for the future around Hedera and Hbar. And with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of my free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.